ברכנו אבינו באור פניך, שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל עמך. עמך ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום.
And now we turn to the Torah service, which is the central part of this morning's beautiful Shabbat celebration and Bat Mitzvah celebration. It begins with a very special and intimate ceremony in which I will remove a Torah scroll from the ark and pass it to the father of our Bat Mitzvah, who will pass it to our Bat Mitzvah. And then we will bring the Torah to you, the congregation, and Naomi will fulfill her place in the thousand upon thousand upon thousand-year chain of Jewish life by sharing from its wisdom, chanting the words of the Torah. So I invite you please to rise for the Torah service, to invite Kate Nyman and Annie Martinez to come to help us open the ark, and to invite David to come and pass the Torah. Open the Torah. Dark. Good job. I'm holding it anyway. We listen to the cantor and then we repeat. Good job.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo. Please be seated. You guys go back to your seats, to your seats, to your seats, to your seats, to your seats. I know. Beautiful. In just a moment, we're turning to the Torah. Cute. Sometimes I don't notice things. Very often I don't notice things, but I like the flowers. So, in a moment, we're turning to the Torah scroll. As most of you know, the scroll contains the 5 books of Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. The Torah scroll contains the first 5 books of the Bible, called the 5 books of Moses, and it is Jewish tradition to read the entire Torah scroll every year in an annual cycle, and that way each Shabbat, each bar or bat mitzvah has his or her own special portion. So today with Naomi, she's going to talk about it a little later, so I'm going to talk very briefly about it, just to mention that it is one of the longer Torah portions in the Torah. Fortunately, she doesn't have to do it all. She just does a section of it. And it's one of those portions that reminds us of what the Torah represented that was radically new and different when it came into the world more than 3,000 years ago. And that is that this is a portion that's filled with blessings and curses. It's filled with challenges, really. And it says when the people finally get to the land of Israel, remember they've been wandering for 40 years to get to the land of flowing with milk and honey. And so in Naomi's portion, Ki Tavo is the name of her portion, which means when you get there. When you get to the land of Israel finally, and God has fulfilled God's promise, starting with Abraham, and then Isaac, and then Jacob, and Sarah and Rebekah, and Rachel and Leah, and all those biblical characters, saying, I'm going to give you this land, says God. But in the meantime, we had a little diversion. We ended up as slaves in Egypt for hundreds of years. And then Moses came down, got us out of Egyptian slavery, and then we were wandering in the desert for 40 years. Finally, when you get there, says the Torah, don't forget to thank God and go, oh, you finally did it. Took you long enough, but you got us here. And acknowledge the blessings that you have. Acknowledge the blessings that you have. Sometimes they're hard to get to. Sometimes even when you get there, by the time you get there, you forgot what a blessing it was to get there because the process of getting there was so irritating. It didn't quite work out the way you expected it to work out and all that other stuff. Like, all we had to do was go from Egypt to Israel, and it took 40 years. You know, it should have taken maybe slowly walking a month or two. It took 40 years. But that was a whole process of finding out who we were and being the right kind of people to end up really deserving to receive the land flowing with milk and honey in the end. That's part of the process. And so Naomi's portion says, when you get there and you plant and you reap and you're able to finally live somewhere where you are enjoying the fruits of your labors in the land that God has promised you, breathe a sigh of relief and remember gratitude. Remember gratitude. So easy to forget about being grateful in life with all the other stuff that goes on. You know, because when you get there, there'll be people that won't be happy with you being there. They'll be a little irritated. There may be some fighting going on. Remember to have gratitude. And remember then to have this dramatic antiphonal experience where this would be perfect for this. We could actually act it out, but I'm not going to because I don't take the time. Where half of you go up to Mount Ebal and half of you go up to Mount Gerizim, and half of you shout out all the blessings that'll happen when you do the right thing, and half of you will shout out all the curses that'll happen in life when you don't do the right things. And after every one of those, you say, Amen. You know, blessed be the person who goes and does this, follows God's law. Yes, Amen. And cursed will be happen if you don't do this. Amen. Meaning, yes, I agree. Absolutely. Just like Naomi just took the Torah in her hands from her father and said, yes, me too. I agree. I agree to the challenges, the ethical challenges of being the right kind of person. And what was incredibly dramatic and different about this Torah thousands of years ago, and with this I will conclude, is that it came into the world to say that there are rights and wrongs of how we're supposed to behave, and we put those rights and wrongs in the Torah in the mouth of God, and we identify God as the power that created the whole universe,